Oh, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're working on our window manager. And today we are trying to make it so that we get a real window working. So this is an example of our window manager, right? We have our little mouse here. We have this little, fading red background wallpaper and one window being displayed. This window is our Wayland client running, initializing some OpenGL state, opening a Wayland socket to our Wayland server, sending some, GPU buffers over the wire, and like being like, okay, could you please display these? And our window manager is doing that, right? This is all fine and dandy. However, if we try to run a real application that isn't our hand-rolled client, everything starts to fall over. So, oopsies, didn't we do this? So maybe we want to run this demo app. Hold on. Demo. Hold on. This demo app, simple little test for our GUI framework. He spawns a little window here. He draws a couple graphs on it. He's doing some OpenGL rendering, but most of the stuff that we care about is the Wayland initialization stuff, right? So how is it when we use this window how is this displayed? We got to the point yesterday, apparently, where if we run the window manager locally, not in the virtual machine, it doesn't display anything because it doesn't know how to open the GPU. It doesn't know how to spawn itself as a Wayland client yet. But he can't spawn himself as a proper display server because Kwin is already showing a proper display server. But we did get to the point where, as far as we can tell, looking at these logs, we are attempting to render something right now, right? However, if we try to run this same app in the virtual machine, I believe we're not so lucky. So if we run demo here, just like this, he says, I failed to initialize. So that's what I want to look at today, is trying to get this thing to work properly in the virtual machine, which should get us to the point where we can actually see something, actually see him drawing. And that would be a pretty big win. So let's say that's what we're going to do. So I guess plan of action is something like, what? Figure out why EGL fails in VM. I guess that's kind of what we're looking at. Okay, so let's take a peek. So I guess if we run this in GDB, we downloaded debug symbols for this stuff in the VM, and we can do something like, we probably want like a GDB in it. Oopsies, Vim GDB in it, maybe? Vim in it, VI in it, GDB? There we go. So it's like, we want to set the directory to, what is it? We want to add some source mapping in here. So we want to do this thing, and then we want to probably breakpoint on EGL initialize or something. Probably open up demo and then run this thing. I think this is kind of, he's mad. What did I do wrong here? File? Is it, hold on. GB. Okay. XDB G runtime trigger. Right. I forgot we need to do some of these guys. Okay, that didn't work. That's annoying. Okay, I guess we'll do it manually. Fine. I don't know why that didn't work, but fine. Fine. You can't make me do it right. Okay, so somewhere in here, what's he saying? He's saying failed to create DRI2 screen. So let's start there. Let's start there. Failed to initialize was it? Failed to create DRI2 screen. So this is where he's getting mad. 796 in EGL DRI2. EGL DRI2.c. What was it? 796? All right, let's start there. So I guess we just kind of start stepping around until it looks like something's wrong. I guess we can probably make a guess as well. We were in platform Wayland before. And in here we saw something about like DRI, like create window surface, if I remember correctly. No. Initialize. Here. DRI to initialize Wayland. I think that we have like a pretty good guess that this is around where the problem is from yesterday's experimentation. So can we look at this? 317. Let's just do this. Okay. So yesterday we had no idea what path we were taking here. So we thought that on our main machine we were taking the like hardware initialized route, and then in the VM that we were taking the software route. That's my guess here. And we are. Cool. So this is probably where we start throwing some, getting a little mad. So I guess we see where in this we start falling over. Oh, right off rip, huh? 307? That's interesting. So this DRI2 WL formats in it is immediately falling over. So I guess we look in here. 326. All right. Okay. So let's just keep hitting next here. Just see what he complains about. Okay. So here he's saying if this fails, we would go to failure. Is that what's happening? No, wait, he's totally fine. So then what's the problem? 340 to 345. So here he's like totally chilling. Wait, then what's the problem? It seems like we just like exit this function immediately. Two, 2, 6, 7, right? Oh wait, but then we end up in the DRM path. Whoa, 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 what the fuck? Okay. Confusing. So he like went into here. Oh, I wonder if it's like some bullshit where the two functions have the same start, and so it like collapsed them together. That would be kind of funny, right? Because these guys both have the exact same first few lines. So it might be some like crazy shit like that because it was like built with really optimizations on or something. Okay. Then that must not be the problem. I guess we just keep going. We'll keep going. Okay, so far this seems okay. So here he says DRI screen render GPU is null here, but it looks like we kind of got through this stuff, I think. Not really sure yet. I guess maybe it was a 2329 there. It looks like we kind of bailed out here in DRI2 create screen. Oh, which is where we are right now. I'm a dumbass. Oh, so we're below the Wayland stuff. I thought we were above it. I thought it was like we call into Wayland and then go down. We're like in Wayland stuff. We're trying to create the screen, and he's like, I fucked up. So that's interesting. Okay. So I guess we should be going into this function here, right? Okay, break here, run, continue, whatever, give him a sec. And what are we doing? We're back to this thing. So where is this even? This is in DRI util.c line 106. Like, what is happening here? What is happening here? He's creating a screen. Oh, right. This is where he's probably going into one of these things and failing, maybe? Let's look for this. So he sets up loader extensions, he moves forwards, all this stuff is working fine. And he ends up with copper init screen, I think. No. DRI init screen. Okay. DRI2 init screen. Where is this? And then we probably want to go into his pipe loader create screen. Is probably where something interesting happens. Where he's going to go into some backend and try to load some stuff. All right. I guess we should double check here. That like that this is where we're failing. We're not really clear here. So we're in DRI util.c again. So if this is pscreen null here? Yes. Right, so this DRI2 init screen is what's failing. Okay, which we know went into pipe loader create screen. So let's rerun, stop there, and see where we go. So he is doing a little bit of Vulkan shit, I guess, which is interesting. So he's probably doing like OpenGL implementation backed by Vulkan implementation. So this is in pipeloader.c 174. Okay, so we're trying to look at dev ops. Nope. That's annoying. So we're going to create screen here, I hope. Which is a DRM implementation of this function. Oh, for vert.io GPU. Nice. Oh, of course. We are a vert.io device. Okay. Okay. Vert.io. Where is this? Vert.io. DRM helper.h. Vert.io. Create screen. Oh, sure. So we have some more stepping to do down here. VirGL DRM screen create. Where the fuck is this? Probably here. What is he doing? None of this feels like anything that should be related to us, by the way. I'll just say that. But maybe VirGL is trying to get some information. So, okay. I think my memory of this, which is a little hairy, is you have like virtual machine here. And in here, you have VirGL. And this does some like bullshit where it basically like forwards all of the OpenGL calls to your like host. Right? And he does like conversions here. QEMU will like get this shit and like turn it into like calls for my AMD GPU, right? So it could be that like this guy is trying to ask some information about the window that it's in so that it can forward these calls directly. You know, it might be something like that. But it feels like we're like way below the Wayland point. So it's surprising this stuff fails, but I guess we will see. So we're looking to go maybe to like line, we're looking to maybe go into VirGL create screen, right? No, actually. Interesting. He fails before that. Oh, maybe util hashtag we get. That's very surprising. We're failing like somewhere really early in here. Info br. VirGL DRM screen create. This is where we want to look, I guess. Okay. So where is this guy freaking out? So fucking annoying. Wait, where the fuck? Oh, we're here. Okay, is this where he fails? Looks kind of like it, right? Looks like this DRM Winces create failed. Feels like it. Who's just calling like ioctals. Okay, where's this? Here. So I guess we just start slapping next on here and see what happens. What the fuck? 1, 2, 2, 1. Why is this immediately going out? I guess because like optimizations make everything fucking hard, right? It makes it sound kind of like this ret failed. Can we do something more like step into that octal? No? How confusing. How confusing. Yeah, everything's out of order, I guess. Yeah, okay, but it feels like maybe we can S-trace this thing and see what it complains about. Change display driver software rendering. Well, I want to know why it's failing, right? I don't want to just dodge the problem. I want to know what's wrong. I feel like those are two different things. I could switch to assembly view, but I'm too stupid. I would like to try S-tracing this and seeing if that ioctal fails. You know what I mean? S-trace. Why do I type -E? I just feel like that's in my head for some reason. Demo. S-trace not found. APK add S-trace. Fine. Fine. Okay. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for like vert GPU in here, right? Get param. So all of these guys are returning fine, right? Equals 0, equals 0, equals 0, equals 0, equals 0. So then what's the problem? So what's happening here? He's looking over array size params. Okay, can we go back? Maybe can we break at line 1368 for a second? Bow, 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 bow. Oh, oops. B, EGL, initial. No, B. What is this? Is VerGL, DRM, WinSys, 1368. .c. Your primary goal is to render real application. Later you can go back to it. No, that's not my primary goal. My primary goal is to figure out why this is not working. I want to understand the problem. I think skipping over things that you're seeing, like skipping over problems, is bad. Don't do that. You'll like miss important information. Okay. Run. Maybe we should breakpoint at a specific line number in here as well. Can we try breakpointing at like ver gl drm win sys c colon 1216? Like, does that ever get hit? Like if I try to breakpoint here? Yes. Okay, so things are just kind of like maybe all over, like inlined and out of order and stuff. What is params here? 1. Doesn't really seem very array-like. Like, what the fuck is params even here? Weird. Okay, let's try going next through here a little bit. Ah, here we go. This is feeling a little better. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So this was... We got to params... This guy got angry. Wait, so is this just, like, why... The fuck? What the fuck? So he's just like asking VirtGPU if he can do 3D, and it's just like, no. As far as I understood this. You know. So then why? Like, the fuck? I wonder if it's because we're telling it to render with the wrong card? That's not impossible. That's not impossible. What's it called? Demo? Proc FD 2399. Oopsies, LS maybe? Oopsies, 2399 FD, I mean? Render 128 feels correct yet surprising a little bit. I kind of expected our window manager to be telling it to render somewhere else. Yeah, okay. So far, so good. I mean, it feels like he's like, we don't have 3D acceleration. Which might be true, right? Like, that's not 100% untrue. We pass in vert IO GPU. Maybe he needs VirtGL along with him. But then if that's the case, why would anything ever work? Can we run like a normal window manager for a second? Maybe like it's like it could just be a fully environment problem. Do we have WL roots in here? I think we do. Not WL roots, like sway. Can we just run this? XEG runtime dir is 10. He's mad because seat D is not running or something, so I'm supposed to be like etc init.d seat D start. Let's try it again. Okay, so this is running the window manager now, and if I just run this again, does my demo program run in this scenario? Maybe not, right? Yeah, okay. Well, hold on. ls temp. It might be Wayland 1, my bad. Yeah, okay. So that's a good clue, actually. Is that even on a normal window manager, we're still fucking broken. Okay, so can we just do force? How do you do the force again? Mesa force software rendering. This guy. Oh, this is interesting in a lot of ways, actually. Yeah, this is interesting in a lot of ways. Oopsies, KMS. We're back to software. Yeah, but now on my terms. Now on my terms, because this is the thing that I'm trying to solve this. Now I'm actually trying to debug this specific problem, I feel like, where I wasn't quite there before. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So I guess we just have to, is there like some flag to enable 3D rendering in QEMU? Because it kind of feels like that's what he wanted. It's also confusing that, like, why would the defaults not work here? That's fucking weird, right? So we do manage to like query EGL information in some way. So just screen creation. Oh, this is now an environment stuff thing, which I care way less about. But how do I turn this on? We'll try it. Oh, I guess we could also try not using vert IO GPU for a second. Let's run with like default parameters. Hold on. We will use the default VGA driver instead of vert IO GPU, which we needed for our stuff to work correctly earlier. But if we do this with a real window manager, real quick, give him a sec. So we run, what was it? It was etc start seat D, and then it was sway window manager. Okay. So if we run this with demo, maybe we're supposed to do Wayland 0. This is funny in a different way now. He thinks he's running, maybe? Huh. This is even more confusing. Am I like railing CPU right now? Now it feels like he's just hard dying. This is interesting as well. WR, it does say that. I don't really see why I would want this in the client, but we could try it. It seems like maybe I'm supposed to run that on the server as well. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do this here. Unknown, option true, maybe 1. Okay, then does he not kill himself when we do this? I actually did briefly see something. It could be that it might be that we're garbage in the tiling window manager. No, this is just GLFW though, so I don't understand why it would be like this. Can we run just like fucking GLX gears? Like what the fuck is going on here? I guess GLX gears is wrong though, because we're trying to run on Wayland. Is there like a GLX gears for Wayland? Like, is there like, I just want like an alternative. How do I want to handle this now? Because this is just like, yeah, this is completely new info. Can I like spawn X Wayland? How does that work? Like X Wayland. Already running for display 0. What's like my X11 display var? Maybe I just forgot. It's just display. Display is this. Ah. Okay, we're getting closer. So this has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with us at this point. This is like our system setup for the virtual machine is fucked. Okay, let's go back to trying to use vert IO GPU. And I seem to remember maybe like a 3D argument here. Maybe there's something along those lines. Vert IO GPU. Apparently there's EGL gears Wayland. That's kind of sick. maybe we try that in a minute. What am I looking for? I'm looking for like this, right? Maybe here is what I'm looking for. Yeah. GL, that's the one. Let's try this. This guy as well, I guess. Where backend is something here. What the fuck is display? Backend. He's looking for where the backend is the name of the display backend. What the fuck does that mean? Vert IO GPU GL maybe? Maybe that's what he wants? I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. I'm just doing what you say. Parameter type does not accept value. Okay. We just do this. Yeah, alright. Great. It's normally Spice. QE mode display. Oh, this looks familiar. Yeah, I remember doing this. Yeah, I remember doing this in the past where we did like display GTK. Like maybe like this. This is looking familiar. This is looking familiar. You have 2 dashes before display. Yeah, but I think that was fine. It seemed like it was parsing it correctly. It seems like 1 or 2 is both okay. Okay. Can we run sway now? Let's not allow software rendering. Fuck that shit. Okay. That's looking promising. And then can we run our demo? Will it work this time? There we go, baby. Okay. Okay. So, with that out of the way, you know, this turned out to be like somewhere it was like system BS. And so now can we run our window manager? And does everything just kind of like fucking work now? That'd be kind of cool if it did. Be kind of fucking sick. Be kind of fucking sick. Card 0 has more. Oh, wait, that's fine. Failed to get GPU info for rendering blah blah blah. Rendering this thing, GBM surface in it. So maybe we get kicked into some bad state because we ran another window manager first and we don't handle that correctly. Could be, right? We tried to like, maybe we need to like lock some buffers or something, or like release something that was held by that thing because we control seed. It didn't work right. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? That's worth looking into later. Okay. sphwim. This is kind of interesting. So maybe this is just by like, because we enabled 3D acceleration, maybe we don't initialize anymore. You know? So, because this is after like a fresh boot, it feels like we need to look at whatever the hell is complaining about that thing. That GBM surface in it. So it's gonna be here. Right, so we're like, yo, I want to make one of these guys. It could be like our format is no good. Maybe we should look a little bit closer at what happens, like, this GBM call. He might be a little bit mad about something. No docs? Okay, fine. I didn't want them anyways. So it's gotta be like in this surface create thing underneath. Ew. Ew. Okay, so what are we calling this with? Hold on, I forgot already. So it could be that use scanout or use like, oh, scanout and rendering, surely these are allowed, right? Modifiers are an output. Okay, let's just temporarily write 0 here, just to see if we get past this. On the flags. Just because, like, maybe, you know, you never know. Is using the wrong card now? There is no wrong card now. So, I think no. There's only the one, so I think it's fine. But good thought. Okay. So setting no flags there is totally fine. My guess is that the format here maybe is wrong. Right? Maybe, can we maybe see what formats we're supposed to support? I do see some RGB zeros in here, right? I do see RGBA. So I do see some like RGB 0 alphas in here. So that seems like, I mean, maybe it's like, maybe it might depend on which one of these we get though. I don't really know what's in, oopsies, EGL info is what I was trying to do. Like, is that the only format table? Maybe there's, okay, so there's multiple platforms. Okay, that was the surfaceless platform. This is the GBM platform. So this is the one that we're actually trying to look at, I think. And he, again, does have some RGB zeros in here, so it feels like it should be okay. Okay. So and it also seems like that format of XRGB is like the most sane one. It's possible that calling create surface with modifiers is no good. We could look at like KMS cube for inspiration, right? If I go in here and I run KMS cube, like this works, right? So us copying what they do for initialization is probably maybe the play. GB, okay. So where would we look here? We would go to kmscube.c. He is going to init GBM stuff probably here. Which is probably, do we see like DRM common? No. Where is it in here, do you think? Anything jumping out? Common? Yeah, here we go. So he calls this, and sometimes this fails. And if this fails, he tries this instead. His format is XRGB, so we're probably chilling there. It's interesting that when he calls with modifiers, he throws a 1 in here for flags, where when he does surface create, he does these. That's kind of confusing. But we could try that. Let's just huck a 1. We'll just huck a 1, and we'll see what happens. You never know. And if that works, then we'll understand we can spend a little harder. Whoa, wait, hold on. He might just be making a different call, actually. He's calling with modifiers. We're calling with modifiers too. So that 1 is something else. Okay. So, but like sometimes that fails and he falls back on normal GBM service create. So we could try that. We could try that. Device here. Init width. Init height. Format. And then these guys. And this is like Or else return error, create surface. And it's like this. Okay, we'll try that. Fuck it. Okay. Okay, that's good. So it looks like we're up and running again. Nice. Does GBM create with modifiers automatically call select modifier? I don't know. I have no idea. Why did I call it that way is another question. Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know. It's from the past. Can we run the demo app now? Does it just work? No. No, it does not. Mgrep Wayland. Or sorry, LSSL temp. It's actually Wayland 0. My bad. Okay, wait. So there's some good in there, right? We do see him getting through some initialization, then initially crashing. Or then immediately crashing, I should say. But before that, we're getting farther. And we do see him attempt to commit a buffer or a surface once. Maybe that's not a render transfer, but we can see. So I guess we go back to GDB, right? And what was it? Or we said, why does this init GDB not work? Like, I want to see break. All right, at least I just want to do this. Maybe I want to see like dir, mesa. What was it? That's fine. Okay. Okay, so this is in create buffer. He's crashing, which is like a reasonable place to crash. In terms of like where we would be fucking stuff up. That seems quite likely. Can we? So this is in platform Wayland 1512. So this is all in the DRI stuff. So we can do dir, mesa, build, and then up. Aha! So he is trying to get the width of this thing. And then segfaulting probably because DRI2 query image common dereferences something. Probably. DRI query image. DRI2 query image common, right? So this guy is going to be dereferencing image like directly, right? Okay, that's sick, dude. Dude. This debug info sucks. Fuck. Disassemble. Like image. Trust me, bro. Yeah. Great. Can we like look at the registers? I mean, we can probably assume that like image is 0, right? Like it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Right, because if can we look at value? Dude, come on, man. Okay. Info locals, info args. No arguments, that's sick. Info args. I mean, we know it's width, right? So I guess it could be that width is okay, wait, hold on. Ah, here we go. So he just doesn't have like the type info in here for some fucking reason. But if we cast it correctly, then we know image is null. Which is a good clue. Okay, so we just want to go up, I guess, until... Okay, so create WL buffer in platform Wayland. So what's going on here? He's trying to get the width of the image, which is null, right? So we kind of have to go up another level, right? Yeah. So now he's calling swap buffers somewhere at DRI2 swap buffers. 1649. And, whoa, which goes to swap buffers with damage, my bad. Swap buffers with damage. Am I in the wrong folder? Feels like I am. I'm confused. Create W buffer 1722. Oh yeah, here. It's here. Got it. So image comes from DRI surface current, one of these two, right? So can we look at that? DRI surf. DRI2 surf. Great. Fuck yeah. Like, what did I want? What was I expecting? DRI2 display? Great. Great. Is this... Can I get better debug info? Alpine... Debug symbols. Like, am I missing stuff? Mesa. Like, am I missing... Alpine super by default, is that what you're trying to do? I'm just trying to like fucking figure out why, like, what is... I'm trying to print a variable in GDB. But yeah, maybe they're just like stripping a bunch of the debug info. Because I installed Mesa debug, which got me something. But I guess not enough. Alpine doesn't ship man page level and zills. I guess that's why I installed it initially. It's because I wanted something super stripped. So I guess I kind of deserve this. I guess we just need to figure out who's supposed to set DRI image or linear copy, right? That's the play. So it's got to be in here. If we just search for DRI image equals, right? Someone must set this. Yeah. So this is on a callback from create DRI image, which comes from create DRI image with formats, which comes from get back BO, which comes from update buffers, which comes from update buffers if needed. Swap buffers with damage. Oh, okay. So we might be calling swap buffers. Whoa. Wait, maybe not. Wait, which one of these things were we in? Fuck, I got lost. No, this is like their vtable externally, right? So we're missing something here. So if... I guess it's possible. I need to look back. I got lost. Someone is supposed to be setting DRI image, right? In platform Wayland. And we probably are supposed to give him something that does that, right? Yeah, DRI image. So if we just search for this guy specifically, we know that this is the only place that he's set. create DRI image. Can we fucking just get Clang D in here? And at least like get compile commands set up so that we can like index this thing correctly. I think we learned a little bit, by the way. So I think this will be less painful this time. It's like native build inputs is equal to packages Mesa native build inputs, and then we have build inputs gets from here, and then we also want this to have Clang tools that I have Clang D, and hopefully this will at least let us configure Mesa to the point where we can jump to definition and stuff. Hopefully. We will see, though. We will see. I guess at some point we shuffled on to back to Nick's torture. Yay. No, this time it'll be no, this time it'll be good. I promise. It won't be that bad. Where are we? We're like EGL segfault on width param. Copium. It is a lot of copium for sure. Mason setup. Let's just see. If this is all I need to pass, right? I don't need to actually build the thing. I just need to be able to run Mason so that it will export compile commands. Fuck. Well, copium. we cut it here. Okay, platform Wayland. Maybe within this folder. Yeah, we're just gonna get full of compilers. That's fine. Okay, DRI image equals. Can we at least find references? No, it's just fucked. Well, we tried. Okay, so create DRI image from DMA buff feedback also seems interesting. So we have from formats, from DMA buff feedback. Those are kind of the only two places, I think. So it kind of feels like we should be in get back buffer. This should get called at some point here. And probably like we're not handling this correctly, would be my guess. Like we haven't given him something that he needs to do this part. So my guess would be if we just breakpoint at this place where he's supposed to initialize that thing, we might find that he calls these functions or like doesn't call these functions, and like after this it's still fucked. That would be my guess, but we'll see. We will see. No. So we're segfaulting actually just before that. So this get back buffer is never called, which is interesting because that's the only place where that thing is supposed to be set as far as we can tell. So we could maybe call, this guy. So this is breakpoint at platform Wayland C. Do we get to this ever? 1390 or something? Oopsies. Like, do we ever get to update buffers? Who is called from who? Update buffers if needed, which is called from all over the place, right? So we do get to update buffers, right? So that's interesting. So somewhere between here and here, he's giving up? Maybe. However, that seems kind of surprising looking at this stuff because there's no, like, control flow that should kick him out of there. Right? Ah. Okay. So get BO is failing early with bad Alec. Which makes me think that one of these tests is a problem, right? We're not getting down to wherever he's supposed to set stuff. There's a lot of things that go wrong in here. So I guess that's the clue, right? That is the clue. Ah, fuck. Maybe we should just break on get back BO. That would maybe be easier than trying to hit next to the right spot. Okay. Then we just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't want that to work anyways. Can we break point here instead at the line? Maybe sometimes that seems to work better. 1162. Sometimes that seems to work better. Okay. Okay, maybe he is just... Oh yeah, it's so strange. Oh, this is just the same fucking breakpoint. Sure. Okay, I guess we have to be a little bit more intelligent here. Somewhere this guy is returning early with -1, right? So it might be here, 1207. Might be 1211. Might be 1218. We're desperate. Debugging with I mean, what we should have done at some point was compile Mesa with debugs like in debug mode. But we didn't do that, so get fucked us, you know? So now, because now we have to deal with this fucking, like, out of order execution shit. Okay, wait, 1215? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We are looking somewhere clean now. We're fucking stepping, dude. Okay. So, what does this story tell us? That he called get DRI image from formats and then gave up, right? So this is at 1345. Yeah, so here DRI image was null. Then he tried to create it and then freaked out. So probably if we break point at 1018. We will start to see something interesting, hopefully. Nice. Nice. Okay, so he's moving and grooving. I mean, based off the function name, we can get a fucking guess, right? Like, it was related to formats, which has unknown type, of course. So this thing is defined here. Can we just cast this to an int to get the first parameter? Unsigned int? That doesn't seem right. Oh, because I'm supposed to dereference it? I forgot. It's a pointer of many. No? Am I stupid? It feels like that should work. Can't access memory there, so I guess get fucked me, but it felt like... God damn it. P int form. Like, this is a thing, right? Yeah. So I don't know why I can't dereference it if it's valid, but... Oh well. We could dream. I would love to be able to, like, look at stuff a little bit clearer, but whatever. Okay. So probably we were seeing that we have invalid modifiers. We don't support explicit modifiers. Check if the compositor supports implicit modifiers. Interesting. Okay, so if we're in here, that means resource create with modifiers failed, which is probably the interesting piece here. Probably. So we probably want to get back to, what was that line, 1004? 1054? And then we want to step into this thing, probably? Oh, wait, that's not a function call. That is just a like, what is this? Oh, hold on. If this does not exist, Then they do something. What if it does exist? This might be something interesting here. Unsure. But then what else are they doing here? They're looking at the modifiers thing, where modifiers comes from this shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so it's probably we're getting here, right? We don't support implicit modifiers, and we also don't support explicit modifiers, right? That's kind of what this is saying to me. So my guess is that somehow we are supposed to tell the compositor, or the compositor is supposed to tell us, the application, that modifiers are supported, and that is not happening because of some interface thing, right? So I think that the VirGL driver says, you fucking need explicit modifiers, and then we're like, fucking use the implicit one, bro. That's what it looks like to me. Resource create with modifiers equals, like, who sets this thing? This seems like an artifact of the driver. So it must be this. Wayland DMA buff, right? I wish that we could fucking look at this DRI DPY thing. Which maybe we can. Struct DRI2 DPY. No, this is not, sorry, this is this. Let's see. Like, if we just try DRI2 DPY. Yeah, kill me, I guess. Why would it be there, you know? Fuck. Everything's so hard. You can look at any of them if you're willing to calculate pointer offsets by hand. Well, I mean, not if I don't have this symbol to begin with, right? I was willing to do that. I'm not willing to, like, figure out... It's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's fine. I mean, but WLDMA buff seems suspect. Because that seems like something we can control, right? Do you have any symbols around or next to it? Info locals? No locals. Args? No arguments. So I guess we could maybe get it from, like, the register that it was passed in on. Maybe. I feel like what's easier, though... Oh, surely we have DMA buff. Info variables. Oh, what is the difference between variables and locals? Okay, wait, let's look at this failure case again. So if we have WLDMA buff, he's looking over all of our num modifiers, which comes from modifiers present. Oh, I mean, we didn't send any modifiers. I'm, like, fairly confident that we never send modifiers from our side. So that's probably related. Right? Here, what's probably happening is it's the other way from what I said. So VirGL... No, so it is what we said, right? VirGL expects modifiers, and the compositor did not tell this guy that any modifiers are supported. And so he's like, oh, fuck. Because if I remember correctly, the Wayland protocol... we are supposed to emit format... I don't actually see this anywhere. I could have sworn, like, there's this thing that comes over sometimes, but it says we're not supposed to send this. So who is? I would have sworn that one of these guys is supposed to send modifiers, but Maybe the format table's in the wrong format? Telling a totally packed array of consecutive format modifier pairs. Yeah, I mean, we are just not doing this. Each pair is 16 bytes wide. Yeah, we're just not doing that. Contains format as a 32-bit unsigned integer followed by 4 bytes of unused padding, and a modifier is 64. Yeah, we should do this. I wonder what modifiers we're supposed to have. You must support linear modifier per spec. Got it. I've actually like never. I've like just seen these modifiers passed around. I don't know what they are. So let's figure that out. At the very least, our compositor needs to be doing that modifier thing, which we're just fucking not. Wayland, we should be writing 4 bytes of padding. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to write a 64-bit int, right? So 2 bytes maybe? Yeah, nice. Uh, 8. This is supposed to be, what is it, 32? Is that what he said? 16 bytes. 16. Something like this. Yeah, something like this. Okay. So what are these modifiers? I actually have no fucking idea. DRM modifiers Linux. Like what are these? I assume that these were like GPU specific flags that just get kind of like passed around sometimes, you know? Format modifiers are used in conjunction with a 4cc code, forming a unique 4cc modifier pair. Pair must fully define the format and data layout of the buffer. Modifiers are memory layout of GPU images, i.e. tiling for better cache locality, vendor defined. Got it. Having multiple 4cc modifier pairs which describe the same layout should be avoided. Format modifiers may change any property of the buffer, including the number of planes and or required allocation size. These modifiers are vendor namespace. Yes, they are just kind of like vendor figures it out. And as such, the relationship between a 4cc code and a modifier is specific to the modifier being used. For example, some modifiers may preserve meaning. So I assume that GBM, when I create my initial like surface, is supposed to tell me which modifiers it supports, right? That's probably why we did that with modifiers thing before when we generated our buffer. Right? Here we tried to get the modifiers out, and then it didn't work. So then we call GBM service create, and then maybe he automatically figures it out. And then maybe we're supposed to query the surface, our like base surface for the modifiers and send that over. Right? Like we could look at the back buffer and call GBM get modifier on it. Maybe? What does like GBM provide us? Because like he must internally, he must have like some knowledge of what each driver is expecting in terms of modifiers, or maybe he can like, he knows how to query them in some way. Okay, so let's look at GBM surface create. Okay. So we are failing to call this thing. And this thing fails. We don't know why, because it's kind of deep in there. We have buffer object get modifier on a buffer object. Can we like, get a buffer object without locking it? I guess we can lock front buffer and then unlock it temporarily after we make it. We could do something like that. Does KMS Cube have this problem? You know, like, do they need to extract the modifiers? It looks like he kind of just ignores them. So maybe he just sets them to 0 by default. Yeah, I guess that, who knows? Who knows? We could try just sending 0. That's not crazy. We could also try locking the buffer and looking at his modifiers. Oh, no, wait. He sets it to this by default. The acronyms are on point because I often want a KMS when I'm working with DRM on Linux. Yeah. Okay, so this lines up with what Alex was saying with linear being a required thing. So it could be that like this is default, but then how do I like figure out what was set? You know, you definitely want to extract the driver from the driver somehow through GMR or some other means. If you can't get the driver, you just have to use linear value of 0. Okay. So there's like something unclear here about just because like the modifiers I'm using for the render buffer, that doesn't mean that it's the same modifiers that I want to use for the like renderer, right? So I'm just gonna slap a 0 in there for now. Kind of like very unsure about that that's correct. But let's just see if that changes behavior at all. Because I suspect what was happening before was that we were trying to mmap in that format table, and it was like wrong. That's what I like, because it wasn't missing pieces, right? That's what I suspect right now. And so I would like to be able to confirm that in some way. Oopsies, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, what is this window? The other thing that it would be cool to do is prove to ourselves that that was the case. So when he looks at the formats in Platform Wayland, like we should see him look at the format table, right? And then we should see him try to like extract modifiers from this thing at some point, right? Right, so like this DMA buff format, when he sees like supported formats or something, he is going to, like, we should see him looking at the modifiers here. And then probably this WL array for each. Index indices. It's probably that he was just like reading past the end. It was just like garbage data. Because like we definitely weren't sending him something that was like good enough. You want the OpenGL side to know that the image it gets from the compositor is some specific format, and the driver can transition that image into auto format to the rendering. Once it is done, in Vulkan this is explicit, but in OpenGL, the driver will be doing this under the hood. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I guess like what I was trying to say though was we want to emit a list of all of the format modifier pairs that are valid, not necessarily just the one that we happen to be using. That was what I was trying to say earlier. But not very well. Okay. So let's see if this changes behavior at all. Oopsies, SSH. Okay, so this does seem to be the same. Yeah, this seems to be the same. So maybe we look at we set a breakpoint in this like modifiers thing. So this adds it to pending tranchy, which means that when we have done, he should be posting this to tranches. And then how does this end up in like the global modifier thing? It could also be that he's relying on the defaults right now, not per surface. right? He's looking at modifiers, which comes from modifiers here, which is coming from formats modifiers, right? So formats here is passed in here for create DRI image, right? And these are attached to a surface, so you would hope that this surface has had modifiers attached to them at some point. You would hope that. It's definitely not like guaranteed. Yeah, so what was we concluded earlier that get back BO is called, but is not creating the back buffer because what was it? Were we hitting one of these returns? I don't remember anymore. I can't remember. I guess we just have to breakpoint somewhere. Oh, is this? Let's just breakpoint here and see. I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember. Dir Mesa build. Okay. So is that 1191? Whoa. So it's got to be like he's in here. The fuck? Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is invalid. I think. I can't fucking remember. P int 64 T. No. Int. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Oh. I don't want to look at this. I don't care. Okay. So we think that. What did we do before? We like set breakpoints at the -1s or something? I don't remember. Maybe we weren't sure in general. We just knew that he didn't get all the way down to where it was important. Oh, it was here. We were looking at resource create with modifiers before. That sounds familiar. Right? It was something about resource create with modifiers and this. This is. We felt like we got here, right? To this create DRI image was not returning anything. Why did we think that this was the problem? Create DRI image from formats in get back BO. That's what it felt like. It's so hard to tell because of all the jumping around. But that is what we thought, was that we were coming here. And was it that we thought that like this was happening? Maybe. Wayland 1067. Let's see. Um, 1168. Oh wait, so this stuff is all fine. I'm not convinced anymore that this is where it was relevant. It's so hard to tell with all the fucking jumping around, dude. It's so fucking hard to tell. I think that we saw all this like modifier code and we're like, maybe. I feel like that's what happened. So was it when we call create DRI image? the display is still null after. That's what we know, right? It's that this guy is called from here, and that this null is happening. Because we know that this stuff happens, and we know that this returns -1. So we're fairly confident that this stuff is not doing the right thing. That's how I feel. Okay. So here, we are in create dr image. Can we breakpoint at create dr image and see which path we're in? That'd be kind of interesting. That would be kind of interesting. So this is from formats. Okay. Not from DMA buff feedback, which is interesting. Which makes it seem like we don't have WL DMA buff feedback on the buffer or on the surface. Which seems kind of wrong, by the way. That seems like it might be wrong. We might be supposed to provide that thing. Right? Because this surface, he did ask for it. Right? He hasn't destroyed it yet, so that's kind of odd. But we did see before that, like, you know, sometimes that these calls get like squished together, so we can't say with 100% certainty that we're not coming from the other path, because it might be that he's kind of folded this together in some way, shape, or form. Who fucking knows, dude? Okay, but it looks like we're coming from with formats. Okay. And then is it, we just hit next a few times? If not intersect modifiers. Okay. We hit next some more. Oh, this is why we thought that, right? Because we got here. And then we just immediately bailed out of the function here. Yes, that's why we thought that. It was the modifier related shit. That is why we thought that. Which really makes it feel like we had modifiers. It looks like we went over all the modifiers, which was like 1, right? Looks like we went over 1 modifier and he was DRM format mod invalid. Which shouldn't be anything that we've ever sent. Unless that's 0. Which it doesn't look like it is. Right? So what the fuck? What the fuck? This is fun. This is crazy. Get surface specific modifiers, where this thing is supposed to come from. I mean, it could be up here. Hold on. Oh, fuck. We tried info variables before and it didn't work. But can we maybe breakpoint here in this function and see what we set the modifiers count to? Is that something we can do? Because we don't have info args either. Fuck. Fuck. But it doesn't look like these necessarily come from us. Right? It feels like they call this guy, who's like, get me the surface modifiers, and then he comes down here and he compares those modifiers somehow. I think, right? Because this modifier is here. This gets passed down to here, which gets passed down to here as surf modifiers, which is combined with the modifiers that we sent over, right? We see intersect modifiers. So I wouldn't be shocked if, like, they don't find any that intersect well. Right? That seems like something that could happen. It's like a guess we could have. Which means maybe we just send over more, right? We could try on our end doing something a little bit more sane. Like earlier, we said, let's just try nothing. But it could be something else, right? We could try sending over, you know, whatever we ended up with from GBM. So let's try that. Just for now, can we be like GBM lock surface lock front buffer on the surface? How do I unlock the front buffer? Release buffer? Is that what I do usually? Yeah, it is. Front. Front. Can we do like C GBM get BO get modifier? Front. Modifier. All right, let's try that. He's mad. Yeah, wrong language. Wrong language. All right. Okay. He's like, I can't fucking do that, bro. Back buffer, maybe? Maybe the front buffer is invalid? Okay. What do I usually do here? Oh, I call swap buffers first. Okay, here's what we'll do instead. Instead of doing this, we are going to end the render loop when we already have the ability to lock this buffer and we know it's working. Can we, just for now, do modifiers is this. We'll just spam print this shit. Real quick. Just take a quick little peek skis. And then we can copy paste that for now until we figure out what we're supposed to do. It is just 0, which is what we sent. Fuck. Can we do this with the format? Just double check. Render buffer format. Just make sure that we fucking type the right thing in there. Let's just make sure. Be confident. Oopsies. XR24, is that what we wrote? Yep, that is what we wrote. So we should be sending at least one valid format. Is it possible that the indices that we send over are like invalid? when we send indices here, we must send index 0. Is XR24 the same format? I think so. Yeah, I mean, that's what we have. Like, I think that's just RGB 888 with no alpha. So I think it's XRGB 8888. So, like, ignore alpha plus RGB 8. So I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that's reasonable. We could try this. When a buffer has DRM format audit invalid as its modifier. A compositor that sends valid modifiers and for this thing sends, okay. So I assume that 0 is correct here. Is that what we're sending in the connection here when we send over format table or whatever the fuck? Yeah, it is 0 index. I'm a little bit curious to see if we could try sending this instead, if that changes anything. It feels like we're missing something, but that's okay. Yeah, like, can we define DRM format mode invalid? Fuck. I think they define. I saw it defined somewhere, right? Yeah, here it is. So can we just try? Like, he's saying that that changes behavior. We could try it. Where's XR24 from? Does not seem like a format defined by DRM. I think it is. We can check. It's in like the 4cc codes, I think. It's in here somewhere. Oopsies. XR. It's in here. XRGB 8888. Right, it's here. XR24 right here. GM format XRGB 8888. Which we should be confident is a valid because we are rendering this in on the server side. Okay. It's just EGL is like a little bit finicky. Okay, we'll try setting mod invalid and just see if that changes behavior at all. Kind of in a desperate attempt at this point. Wait. Wait. Display is not active? But I think that we're rendering. Hold on. Can we kill the VM and start it again? I think we might be working. What does 4cc mean? I remember seeing in one of Sodium streams about API format parser. I think it's 4 for how many bytes the code takes. C for color, C for code would be my guess. I think it's 4-byte color code. That's my guess, but I don't know. I just made that up right now. Okay. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Fuck. Fuck. Why did it not segfault last time, man? Wait, this is just the exact same state we were in a second ago. Why was it different? Why is it different now? Fuck. Yeah, why is it different? Okay, fuck. Okay, maybe just the fact that it was broken meant that we didn't end up on the right path somewhere above, and so we didn't end up where we were. Okay, fuck. I was so excited. Oh wait, it's all because wait. I forgot. Also, sometimes the file system doesn't sync. Let me just make sure that we copied over the latest and greatest. That does. I forgot that matters. Let's just triple check. Let's fucking go, baby! That is my fucking demo app, baby! Let's fucking go! And he is just spamming the fuck out of this thing, so... hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, so can we look at, like, what the big list of shit that we had to do to get here was? Okay. What were our problems to get can you interact the app yet? Can't. Yeah, we don't do input propagation yet. So, that's a problem for tomorrow, I think. Okay. So, one is that we had to support many file descriptors being sent in one packet. We didn't do that before, so they were one of the first problems was libwayland kind of like collects a queue of file descriptors that go with a queue of messages and then kind of like rips them both at once. What else were actual problems that we had to fix? We weren't correctly initializing our OpenGL surface when we were using 3D rendering with VirGL in the virtual machine. So there were some like environment problems there for sure as well, where we don't know how to support like software rendering, and that's not like our fault. In fact, when we were using our Wayland client, the software rendering path was working okay. It's specifically when we're like using the EGL hookup that something's wrong there. We don't understand what yet. Oh, we had to like send this format table over from our Wayland server to EGL so that he knew what he's allowed to render. So we do XRGB with invalid. We don't understand why we have to do this. We don't understand what the correct way to construct this format table is yet either. So we have to probably look at like what someone else does here. Like maybe we'll look at what Kwin does, because there's probably some way to be like, what are my valid list of format modifier pairs? And we probably just weren't sending a valid one over, but there's probably some way to get that. Then we had some like region tracking and shared memory tracking to do, which is fine. Implemented. This stuff doesn't matter. Some seat stuff as well, like a few interfaces, right? They were asking for shared memory and seat interfaces that we didn't support, as well as we just had to implement, like, you know, they passed the 800 by 600 window size over through a region. Although apparently one of the YouTube comments says that this was not how we were supposed to handle that, by the way, but maybe that's worth looking into later. So they created a region. We use that region to attach it to a surface. That surface, then we say it's an 800 by 600 surface. EGL, could you please render it 800 by 600? Because otherwise EGL would render a 1x1 window where our text renderer would then fall over because it couldn't lay out something that was so small. It just like gives the fuck up and just like loops forever. What else is in here? Right, we had to explicitly tell EGL how big our surface was, or else he gets mad. And then it was like this surface feedback stuff where we try to send, hey, these are the formats we support, and getting those formats correct was kind of hard. But otherwise, I think that's not a lot more than that. Yeah. Sick. So I think we'll probably do a happy hour stream where we try to do some cleanup on this. Like all of the code we wrote here was like very experimental, and I don't think that it's right. So there's a few things to clean up there, but there ends the saga. Look at this shit. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. We have a normal GLFW app running in here, maybe. Let's see if it still works. Let's go! Yeah, okay, cool. Very happy with that. I probably won't stream tomorrow. Arc Raiders comes out in 12 hours. 11 hours. So I'm probably going to be up very late tonight and then not functional tomorrow. So I'll be back. What day is it today? Thursday? Today's Wednesday. So I'll be back Friday. Stream it. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be late, but maybe I'll consider it. But yeah, I'll be back Friday. YouTube, thanks for watching. Twitch, thanks for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, there's a YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a Twitch. Please consider supporting with your Twitch Primes or with YouTube members, Twitch Premium or Patreon. We post extra VODs in YouTube members and Patreon, and then on Twitch you get like the full VOD if you sub. We do that so you get, there's a way for you to support the stream. The stream will stop happening when I need to get a job, right? So every dollar I make extends the lifetime of the stream by some amount. So please consider, but obviously no pressure. Yeah. YouTube, peace out. Twitch is find someone to raid.